Hello, welcome to Pat's Rocklight Productions, the Series 1, Episode 1 of the Star Trek Online Talk. Welcome to our first series. Here we're going to talk about different weapon styles uh, and slots I have on my current ship now. I just finished Romulan tasks and starting the Dyson Sphere, so all my weapons are based at that time. Here's a pic of the whole ship. It's an Intrepid class science vessel at captain rank level 33. Now, I just found out on Facebook to do same energy types and not to mix them, so I will do that for the next time. But here's a pic of the four weapons, aft weapons, and devices. My four weapons are one Mark 8 uncommon phaser array with 506.2 DPS and a 507.8 overall. Two, a Mark 5 uncommon plasma array with 362.1 DPS and a 452.7 plasma damage. Number 3 is a Mark 4 photon torpedo common with 645.6 DPS and a 3,873.9 kinetic. Aft weapons are one Mark 6 phaser array common with 373.2 DPS and 468.5 phaser damage. Number 2, Mark 6 resonating Tetryon array rare with 388.1 DPS and a 485.2 Tetryon damage. Number 3, again, a Mark 4 photon torpedo common with 645.6 DPS and 3,873.9 kinetic. I went with weapons I have with the most DPS, also known as damage per second, because if an enemy shields regens at, let's say, 600 every 6 seconds or so, your Mark 9 transphasic torpedoes that only have 500 DPS and recharges every 10 seconds um, won't do any damage because their shields um, would be back up by the time you get ready to fire your transphasic torpedoes to do more damage to the hull. Um, only so that's why I based it on. Only energy weapons do drain the shields, and torpedoes do damage to the hull. Is what I've noticed, and the reason why I've went with photon torpedoes is because of the higher DPS. And it seemed like before I was having like quantum, and I had transphasic before. Um, um, I've had different torpedoes. I can't think of them now for some odd reason, but I've had all pretty much all the torpedoes. Um, and it seems to me like they didn't do any damage. They didn't do anything. Um, the only one that I kind of noticed did a little bit of damage was like the mine launchers, kind of sort of, which is like the transphasic torpedoes. They're mine launchers, basically, is what they are. but they don't do that much. They don't do as much damage as let's say the photons. The photons don't do that much. The photons do more damage to the hull, reducing the hull percentage down, so you have more of a chance of destroying the vessel. Um, Recently, I was fighting against the Undine, or species 8472 for you Voyager fans out there. Um, and I was, battling in against them, and they, this battle cruiser comes out, and I'm like, there is no possible way. I'm flying around, firing phasers, firing everything I pretty much got. And I noticed, well, the front shields was going down, so I turn my ship and, fire photon torpedoes on it, and it would drop the hull. First it was, I kept on doing it, and first it was like, it was like 90%, and then, just fly around some more, fire phasers, and then I'd go around again and fire another volley and be 80%, and slowly it just drained down the hull. Um, and I eventually did destroy the dreadnought. So, um, so therefore, energy weapons drain the shields, torpedoes affect the hull, and you can have different um, equipment and stuff like that for your captain's space, capabilities on your actual character that you have that you can load out, where you can get I think it's called projectile training or something like that you can put on there. And to me that seems like it gives you more efficient firing. You can you can fire your torpedoes and they do more damage. Um, so also devices do make a difference. I have currently the devices I have currently are Scorpion fighters. I got like 5 wings left. I think I may have more. I'm not sure. I have shield batteries, which helps to regenerate your shields. If you start to notice your shields are getting a little low, you can activate that device, and it'll regenerate your shields back up to full strength. And weapon batteries, which makes my forward weapons only 10% more powerful, but only the forward energy weapons. It doesn't work for torpedoes or anything. It's just the forward energy weapons. Um, I have also um, learned that your shields and regeneration rate help. Faster regeneration equals less chance of doing damage to a hull. So if you have shields, like let's say you have shields that regenerate 300 every 6 seconds, well then that means you can have if the enemy's weapons only do a little bit of damage to you, that means your shields will be back up by the time that enemy gets to fire their torpedoes. It's basically like the reverse. You want the best regeneration possible, the most regeneration possible. Um, because the higher the DPS of your shield regeneration, the faster it recharges. So, like if you have one shield that's got 200 regeneration, you got one shield that's 300 regeneration. Well, you're gonna obviously pick the 300 regeneration, because that's gonna mean you're going to faster regenerate your shields than your enemy, and you'll be able to survive a firefight a lot better. Once again, I'll refer to the current mission I just did with the Undine. That yeah, they would fire, and my shields would start going down, 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 down. But then, they would slowly regenerate back up to full strength. Um, so, and I always made sure I turned to get, my shields that are, at a higher percentage, a chance to drain those and recharge the other part of the shield so I can turn my ship back and fire photon torpedoes. Uh, Here's a picture of the middle section of my current starship layout. Um, you can see my shields as of now are Mark 4 regenerative shield array. Very rare. Um, they have a regeneration every 6 seconds of 366.4 and a max of 5,276.6. Your deflector also depends on type. Could help with like shield regeneration and also hull regeneration, along with like other perceptions and stuff like that. My deflector is right now is a Mark II neutrino um, common with a plus 2.5% hull, plus 2.5% shield regeneration. That means I got an additional 2.5 percent shield regeneration on top of what I already have, and a 5% perception. That means I don't know exactly what perception means. You guys can leave it in the comment section down below if you know what perception means. I think it just means that they perceive you as an enemy more or something like that. I don't know exactly what it means, so make sure you guys leave it in the comment section down below if you know what it means. Um, Now on to speeds like impulse and warp. My impulse one is a Mark II combat hyper impulse engine, um, uncommon, with a plus 10.4% fastest speed and a maximum of 71.7% fastest speed when you engage all power to it. My warp one, which does power everything from your phasers to your devices to pretty much everything on your starship, is an infinite obelisk. I'm not really sure how to say it, so if you know how to say it, put it down below. Subspace Rift Warp Core. Very rare, with a plus 5% auxiliary power. That means I got more power, plus 10% maximum auxiliary power. That's the maximum. Plus 11.8% damage control. That means I could do more damage with my weapons and all that. And a 294.1 regeneration rate to shields. That's added on top of the regeneration. So your regeneration is 300, you're going to add that 294.1 to that. Plus a 15% shield power. That means I get 15% more shield power to my shields than a normal shield array would. Now, I have some people tell me that your councils help too. Here's a picture of the councils that I have as of current. Um, you have anywhere from 2 to 4, sometimes one to four main types of uh, different councils. Um, the main types are like tactical, science, engineering, and experimental. Here are some of mine. My tactical councils, sorry, excuse me, are one Mark 8 directed energy discharge, very rare, which gives a 15% beam damage. That means I can do more damage with my energy weapons. Number 2, a Mark 4 warhead yield chamber, rare, which gives a 8.8% torpedo damage. So I have my torpedoes have an 8.8% more damage rate to them than regular. Uh, my science councils are one Mark 4 emitter array, yeah, rare, which gives a 11.3% shield restoration. I do have others, but they're only they do not pertain to damage or shields or hull regeneration. Um, just for like reputation or chance increase and so on. Now on to my engineering councils are one Mark II monotanium alloy common, which gives a 10% physical damage. That means physical damage. That's your torpedoes when they hit the hull. That's a physical damage. And a 10% kinetic damage. When the torpedoes hit anything, they'll get more of a kinetic to them. Number 2, a Mark 6 neutronium alloy common, which gives a 8.8% damage resist to all weapons. That means I'm more resistant to all of enemies' weapons. And that's my captain abilities for weapons. Onto my starship on Star Trek Online. Join us next week for an update and give a list of my character abilities and his weapons and equipments and so on. And always, we thank you for watching Paths Rock Light Productions. If you guys enjoy this series, want to see more of our series, please make sure to like, share, comment, post this video and all our videos on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever have you. And thank you for watching Paths Rock Light Productions Star Trek Online Talk.